Greetings, this is Rasa Ali, and whenever I'm in New York, I check out CultureShare.
Well, they playing beats. Why they run from police? Then criminal attack me outside them drama. Way down Henry Street by ACM Walker. About 10 in the night on the 5th of October. They say how I pushed the girl from Grenada. I said the leader of the gang was hot like a pepper. And every man in the gang had a white handle razor. Well, I back until I nearly fall in the gutter. Well, you see my position of the police in the area. Well, I start to sweat, man, I'm soaking wet. Mama, so much stress. That's a night I can't forget. 10 of them against me with 50 spectators. And the way they coming up like they want to devour. But in the heat of the excitement is then I remember. In my next pants pocket I forget me wet ya. I don't know what to do but I just can't surrender. So they go cut me down as a smallest pretender. You could imagine how the plan was to be go river.
Well, hello again. This is where the action is. It's time to delve into the sweet calypso and the soca rhythms of the Caribbean. I am PYSADEE. Stay right where you are and enjoy the happiness in the music for the next hour. This is CultureShare. We're gonna begin with a calypsonian who some people have described as the person who stabs you with his lyrics on stage, but he really means well. He is Luther, and he says there's no truth in justice and no justice in the law.
We don't have justice around business. The judiciary is a mockery. The administrators would die in hell's fire. Oh yeah. You don't know who to trust. The social commentary is unjust, and the people looking for like a murder. Oh, and there is no truth in justice, no justice in the law. The system works for the rich, but it holds no hope for the poor. There is no truth in justice, no justice in the law. Facts doesn't really matter. Once your name ambiguous, boom, is a case of who could lie better and who have more money than who. There is no truth in justice, no justice in the law. The system works for the rich, but it holds no hope for the poor. Oh Lord, oh yeah. So it's bubble and bribery, from the judge to the jury, corruption and wickedness in high places. The commissioner and the drug pusher could be the same fella with two different faces. So you got to be careful, because there is no truth in justice, no justice in the law. The system works for the rich, but it holds no hope for the poor. There is no truth in justice, no justice in the law. The fact is that law and justice are two separate entities. So it's constant chaos and crisis with these two legal enemies. There is no truth in justice, no justice in the law. The system works for the rich, but it holds no hope for the poor. The poor. When you commit your murder, check the human rights lawyer. Whether you're guilty or not is not important to him. Once you have money, 150 grand, Walk with cash in hand, and they will set you free on a technicality. Easy, easy. Just because there is no food injustice, no justice in the law. The system works for the rich, but it holds no hope for the poor. There is no food injustice, no justice in the law. Some policemen really frustrated because they know some guilty people. They want to have them arrested, but the law is an obstacle. There is no food injustice, no justice in the law. The system works for the rich, but it holds no hope for the poor. Oh Lord. Call your mother so and so. Shut your effing mouth also. That's the language the police use when they hold a man. So you must understand, you can't lie like them. No, you can't thief like them. Some of them involved in the biggest crimes in the land. What are you? And there is no food injustice, no justice in the law. The system works for the rich, but it holds no hope for the poor. There is no food injustice, no justice in the law. Rodney King was beaten severely. Videotape shows 4-1, but then the jury set the police free and then said that justice was done. There is no food injustice, no justice in the law. The system works for the rich, but it holds no hope for the poor. Oh Lord, no justice.
Luther performing at the 1992 Sunshine Awards, all happening on CultureShare. There is a saying that the children born of Caribbean parents in New York is a lost generation. Lost in the sense that they're not exposed to calypso and steel band, and being that they were born here and of course schooling here, are more exposed to the American way of life. Well, that, sad to say, is true to a large extent. But there is a saying that for every dark cloud there's a silver lining, and there's a group of young children who are part of a steel band called the Chasm Steel Orchestra, and whenever they play, it brings a smile to the audience because we realize that there is some hope for the survival of the art form even in this great mosaic we call New York. Well, here is Chasm performing at the African Street Festival doing Shadows music. Kazim Steel Orchestra on CultureShare. And the parents, if your child is interested in playing a musical instrument, why not introduce him to the pen? We'll be back with much more action. You know, life is short and you have to take experiences as they come. Few people are rich, more people are poor. The poor people try to get rich. The rich people, they say, are stressed out because money heartaches are too much for them to take. Well, irrespective of the classification in which you are, you must have faith in the Most High, and you must take life one day at a time. Here are the United Sisters.
I'm just a woman. Lord, help me believe in what I can be and all that I am. Show me the stairway that I have to climb. And Lord, for my sake, just teach me to take one day at at a time. One day at a time.
Sweet Jesus,
All you women join with me.
that's all I'm asking of you.
Grab the man hand inside of you and sing it, man.
Give me the strength to do everything
Everything.
what I have to do. Yesterday's gone, sweet Jesus. Tomorrow may never be mine.
So Lord, for my sake, just teach me to take one day at a See, when we one by one, so they say all kind of things. They even say we wanted them boy. Wanted them boy. Look at this handsome man. I go see I.
Oh, you see him first.
Oh, sorry.
I was out there before you was see him first.
Sorry,
You
sir.
see? You see what my sister doing me on stage? She didn't wait until I go on, darling. You alright? Don't touch here. Anyway, you can't touch here now. She full. If you see she full, I wish it's a girl, okay? Alright.
When we walk down the street, we don't care who we see or who we meet. Join with us. Don't need to run, no need to hide, 'cause we got something burning inside. Oh, we got love, power. It's the greatest power of them all. Oh, yeah. We got love, power, and together we can fall. No, when we walk down the street, we don't care who we see or who we meet. No need to run, no need to hide, 'cause we got something burning inside. Yeah, we got love, we got power, it's the greatest power of them. Oh, yeah, we got love, and together we can
Yeah, the music of the United Sisters doing One Day at a Time, and Luther Vandross's We've Got Love and We've Got the Power. I am Harold PYSADEE, and this is CultureShare. We're gonna feature some music now from the first black independent country in the world. That's Haiti. They got their independence back in 1804. Well, we're gonna feature the group Phantoms, and they're gonna do some dancehall reggae for us now, and they're gonna be singing in their native Creole.
Le lendemain matin, les vides pour me benziner. La m'arrive là, qu'elle a monté pour me laver table. Le dimanche, j'ai qui ça a envie de manger. Le dimanche, t'as même mangé un bon petit pour le fruit. Quand on va penser pour la ville, rentrer dans la cuisine. Arrive dans la cuisine, ça m'a pas ça parler. Me dit, viens en bas, viens en bas, viens en bas, voilà. Viens en cause, viens en cause, viens en cause, c'est fia. Viens en bas, viens en bas, viens en bas, voilà. Viens en cause, viens en cause, viens en cause, c'est fia. Qui fait ton pour la mettre les choses, pour la voler la laine. C'est pour tes filles qui cuit ton bol, pour la porter chaudière, pour la voler la laine. Ensemble, pas parler, pas poser, pas attendre, pas parler. À pas attendre, pas parler, pas poser, pas parler, a-t-il pas d'amour? Si fille a-t-il pas bloqué? Si fille a-t-il pas d'amour? Si fille a-t-il pas bloqué? Ah, il est pas blé passer maison moi. Oh, il est pas blé passer maison moi. Ah, il est pas blé passer maison moi. Oh, il est pas blé passer maison moi. Écoutez ça, écoutez ça. Bim bam coup. Bim bam coup. Bim bam coup. Bim bam coup. Caressez Boubouto. Caressez Ménageau. Caressez Boubouto. Caressez Ménageau. Il m'a dit même pas Boubouto. Il m'a dit même pas Ménageau. Il m'a dit même pas Boubouto. Il m'a dit même pas Ménageau. Mais si on va qu'on l'avait passé, me dit où? Mais si on va qu'on quit manger, me dit où? Mais si on va qu'on l'avait passé, me dit où? Mais si on va qu'on quit manger, me dit où? Écoutez, salier, 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 salier. Demandez salier, 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 salier. Me dit, viens sa boca, c'est visionnaire, en bas la tiare, on se l'a pas dormi. Yes, thank you.
Phantoms on CultureShare, and they're from Haiti. Remember that. Sac passe? Naboule, you said? Got you. We'll be back with a Calypsonian who is also a licensed jockey and a 10-kilometer athlete.
Some Puerto Rican land in this country, all about their accent for me. Do you know the singing taxi driver? They say call Hotel Ramada. They call Ramada and they speak to the manager. He said, well, he could find me at home. So he's going to call me now all alone with a ball of ooh la la la. I want to hear you. Ooh la la la. Yeah, brother. Ooh la la la. They want to sing in taxi driver. I want to drive you. Ooh la la la.
Rasa Ali is a top Barbadian Calypsonian. He's also a licensed jockey and a 10K athlete. Now, since coming on stream with his Spring Garden on Fire, Rasa Ali has never looked back. And in 1993, he rocked the place down by cropping, no pun intended, the road march title that they crop over in Barbados with his Inez.
Are you ready to get out of her? Are you ready to get out of her? Inez, turn off the bloody stove and come. Jump up, jump up. Let me go. Turn off the stove, Inez, don't mind the stove.
Inez,
Can't hear?
Inez,
Forget the time, it is time to unwind.
Inez, Inez.
Look and see how the band's coming, see how the music cooking. Can't you see how the street boiling? On the street they do man morning, that is where the music cooking. Them heading for Spring Garden. Come, Inez, come and join the band.
Come let me jump,
Rock,
rock
rock,
over.
rock. Come, Larry, I wanna hear you sing the song. Too sweet, too sweet, too sweet to Miss Kadumande. Whiners, come let we jam, rock rap over. Come let we jingle. Music too sweet, too sweet, too sweet to Miss Kadumande. Come down when I call you Highness, come down. Come down when I call you Highness, come down. Thank you very much, Brooklyn Posse.
All right. Rasa Ali. You want more Rasa Ali? I know you gotta get some more Rasa Ali. Any more Rasa Ali? You wanna hear Inez? All right. Ladies and gentlemen, let's put our hands together and welcome on stage one more time the Little Rasta Man, Rasa Ali. Wow.
All you women who want Rasa Ali so bad, get out your seat and get out of hand. Let me see you. Out of hand, we go get out of hand. Out of hand, we go get out of hand. Out of hand, we go get out of hand. Out of hand, we go get out of hand. Don't let me have to come for you. Turn off the stove, Inez. Don't mind the stove, Inez. Inez. Forget the time. It is time to unwind, Inez. Inez. Look and see how the band's coming. See how the music cooking. Can't you see how the street boiling? On the street Kadum and Marley. That is where the music cooking. Them ready for spring garden. Come, Inez, come and join the band. Come let we jam, fuck rap over. And let we jam. Come let we tingle. The music too sweet, too sweet, too sweet to Miss Kadum and Let's come let we jam, fuck rap over. And let me jam. Come let we tingle. Music too sweet, too sweet, too sweet to Miss Kaduma. Let me see ya, let me see ya. Come down when I call ya, Inez, come down. Come down when I call ya, Inez, come down. Do you like it? Wave your hand in the air, wave your hand like I just don't care. Wave your hand in the air, wave your hand like I just don't care. Everybody follow me. Say whoa, 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 whoa. Get out the hand.
The energetic Rasa Ali with his Inez at Brooklyn College, and a few moments after he came off stage in his dressing room, we both engaged in conversation. And I began by telling him that the amount of hate he generated with Inez, we'll be talking about her in the year 2010.
Most entertainers need songs like Spring Garden, like Inez, and I think this one is another Spring Garden because it has been doing quite well so far for the year, and I'm looking forward to going, direct to Carnival with this one.
I heard somebody said once upon a time that the reason you have so much energy on stage is because you're a short guy and you had to let people see you. So that is why you can never have a performance entirely being on stage. You had to jump in the crowd.
Yeah, well, that's part of me. I'm very energetic, and as I said before, I used to run for Barbados. I used to run 10K races. I'm a licensed jockey, and so you can see where most of my energy come from. I normally keep quite fit. I'm a farmer by profession, as also a singer, so I keep pretty active, very physical.
And when a day in the life of Rasa Ali is finished, when all the glitter and all the glory are turned off, and you have to go back from whence you came, what happens to Rasa Ali then?
Well, he will still be alive because all the energy that I put out, in the years, you'll always be seeing, as with Marley and other artists, the music not die.
No, you put on, as I was just saying, you put out a lot of energy in your music. You move on the stage, you get into the crowd, you get into it. When would I see Rasa Ali stand up one spot on the stage and give a beautiful rendition of maybe a slow calypso?
Well, you see, you know, I normally do albums every year, and on my albums I normally, you know, like bring down the tempo a little bit, because in 1983 I started singing calypso music, and it started with the soca reggae type groove with the social commentary. But since 86 with Spring Garden on Fire, you know, that one took off, and then people on the outskirts get to know me just through Spring Garden. So, you know, it's like I have to continue the up-tempo music because that's what people like to see from me. You see, in the entertainment business, it is not what you really want to sing, but what the people that pay to come to see you want to hear, you know. So you have to satisfy them most of the time. And in most cases, it is like when the promoters hire you, it's like a two-song because you're on the show with different artists. So you don't really get chance to do. But I have a concert coming up most likely in March next year. And they'll be able to see me do some slower renditions because I can't do a 2-hour concert with beer up tempo song. After all, Mr. Energy can get tired.
That'll be the end of the Eiley.
Yeah, man.
Eddie Grant's music on Ice Record label, which is now based in Barbados. It is a big thing in the art form these days. When you're on Ice, is that you're going places. Your thoughts on that?
Well, you know, as with most other recording companies, well, right now I'm currently recording with World, you know, and things have been happening pretty good for me over the last couple of years. And I'll continue to work with them, you know, until something drastic happens, but so far things looking good with them. But everybody have their own thing, you know. Eddie is doing very well with his music with Gabby and Griner, you know, and other guys. And if you don't have no problems working in a particular area, I don't think you should leave until, you know, some problem arise. But right now where I am, I'm comfortable.
Rasa Ali on CultureShare. I am Harold PYSADEE, and we'll be right back. Let's zoom in now on 5 times Calypso Monarch of Grenada, Ajamo, performing at Dimashq 1990, and this is Save the Children.
We got to forget our differences and sit down and talk about the children. Talk about the children. Because it's more than time now we stand up and face the fact that our children really need some guidance. Children nowadays is not like before. And the elder folks will say this for sure. The things that our grandparents used to teach, it is plain to see, it's far, far behind the rich. All over the world, don't care where you go. Disobedient children you see for sure, destroying their lives in ungodly games. And no one would stand up and take the blame. So we got to devise a plan to find some quick solution. Otherwise tomorrow they would be gone. So we got to try a little harder. I say try and save the children's future. We got to try to get them on the right track. I say try and convince them to turn back. You must never forget the wages of sin is death. And if you wait too late, you might regret. So, la bamba di la na do de. Mami oh, God. Mama. Biding. La bamba die. La bamba die. Parents and guardians, you have an important part to play. For the children, play it for the children. And if you don't play your cards right, someday you'll have to pay. For the children, pay it for the children. Sometimes we too have ourselves to blame, when our children really bring us to shame. So instead of treating that child with scorn, examine yourself and find out where you went wrong. Sometimes it's your own doctrine that you preach that caused the poor child to get in visit. If you never know, now you better learn. Yeah. When you play with fire, you must get burned. You can't get away from the fact that they are the sheep of your flock. So you got to pave the way for the walk. Yes, we got to try a little harder. I say try and save the children's future. We got to try to get them on the right track. I say try and convince them to turn back. We must never forget the wages of sin is death. And if we wait too late, we might regret. So, la bamba di la na do de. Mami oh, God. Bamba. Biding. La bamba bandoin. La bamba dandan. Those in authority, you must now make it your concern. For the children, do it for the children. I'm appealing to you now to do whatever you can. For the children, do it for the children. Don't tell me you need spectacles to see the youth's recklessness in society. When I see drug pushers on the street corner selling school children cocaine and marijuana, is one thing that you and me know for sure, that they are the future of tomorrow. So if you want the future to be so bright, bright, you must sacrifice to show them what's right. There's no time to fake, so leaders you must awake, cause our children's future now is at stake. So we got to try a little harder. I say try and save the children's future. We got to try to get them on the right track. I say try and convince them to turn back. You must never forget the wages of sin is death. And if you wait too late, you might regret. So, la bamba do it, la do it. Mommy,
Yes, we must protect what we have today so that tomorrow they can preserve and enhance what we construct today. Save the children, Ajamo on CultureShare. It's time for some laughter now, as it gives me great pleasure in bringing back once again ace comedian Tommy Joseph.
The Prime Minister, he went to the IMF and they tell him, they say, I know all of from Trinidad and Tobago, that country has a lot of money, but it disappears somewhere. Prime Minister said, we know this, but I come to get something. So the IMF man rock back, you know them fellow, them big boy, you throw back your head. He said, well, I'll ask you a question, if you answer it right, you get money. He said, do you know the meaning of the IMF? Prime Minister rock back, he said, yes, it's my fault. So country get money. We don't make joke. Well, during the strike, everybody going into the office. The doctor going to check out the ward. One doctor alone working. So he gone about 4 o'clock, just after visiting hours. He gone into ward 4. One nurse on the desk. Good afternoon, nurse. Good afternoon, doctor. How is the patient that swallowed the silver dollar? Said, doctor, no change. Now, you know, we have other children in the order, so you have like a little children joke, eh? A fella had 2 children. Let's see, look, my partner laughing like this. You still go to school, brother? I know you, Belmont Methodist. Right, yeah. Anyhow, 2 children. The big boy name is Mike and the small boy name is Mikey. One morning, the father wake up, breakfast. The wife see about him, everything closed, well ironed, pressed, put on the tie, look in the glass. Because he's so ugly, when he wake up, he's had to sneak up on the mirror. Anyhow, he picks up and he's looking nice. So he gone downstairs, or he gone into the car, he put his hand in his pockets. He can't get the car key. So he realized he leave it upstairs, so he gone by the window. Mike! Yes, daddy? Throw Mikey through the window. You think it easy? And you see me as a fellas have plenty nice dreams, especially in Trinidad. You know I had a dream a night I was walking with a female horse. A fella tell me that is not a dream, that is a nightmare. Is the whole thing just happened? I even had a dream a night I won the national lottery, you know. As I go to collect the first prize, my grandmother wake me up. When I tell she about it, she said, go back and sleep.
Tommy Joseph on CultureShare. I have to tell you this. This Rasta man was walking through the woods. Well, you know Rasta like nature. So the Rasta walking through the woods, enjoying the leaves and the trees and stuff. And all of a sudden, one amount of rain started to fall. So the Rasta man was looking for a place to shelter. He couldn't find a place to shelter, so he started running. So while he was running, he saw a little wooden house way down at the end of the woods. So the Rasta kept running and rain falling. So when the Rasta reached on the house, by the house, and he knocked on the door, a little old lady inside the house said, "Who is that?" Here the Rasta, I Selassie, I Jah Rastafari the first. Here the old lady, nah, too much of all you. It was you alone. Let's join one of the bads from Antigua in the soca business. He is Rupert Philo the Swallow. Here he is performing at the spectacular Calypso tent with Wine on Something.
She told me dance and start to tease me. Cause she know me blood real name is skin. Me eyes holding up and down she body. What I see have me vibrating. Long time I waiting to let go and to do me thing. Got the hand behind she head and she whine. The woman fine, I said she whine. Oh, I ain't living here till broad daylight.
for the man I catch here tonight.
I want to wine on something.
The first man I catch tonight, well, he's dead, 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 dead. Especially if I have a stag in my head.
I want to wine on something.
Wind back,
Throw your waist.
wind back.
Throw your waist.
Whoa!
Throw your waist. I want to wine on something.
Oulé, famedou, oulé, famedou, oulé, famedou.
I want to wine on something.
Hey, what?
Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. This is a party. Say it's a party. This is a party. Hey, man. Oh, la, 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 la. For some of the boys making a big, big scene, trying to attack my beauty queen. But I know that none of them ain't able. When she whines, she's terrible like me. With the way that move like engine and hot like pepper. 10 demons in she head, she go down on the ground with the rum falling higher. I ain't living here till broad
I
daylight.
want to wine on something.
Trouble for the man I catch here tonight.
I want to wine on something.
The first man I catch tonight, well, he's dead.
I want to wine on something.
Especially if I have a stag in my head.
I want to wine on something.
Wind back.
Throw your waist. Wind back. Throw your waist. Wind back. Throw your waist.
Say
I want to
what?
wine on something.
Oulé, famedou, oulé, famedou, oulé, famedou.
I want to wine on something.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah,
Yeah. This is a party. This is a party. 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 Listen. I said to the darling, take it easy. We have the whole night to gallery. Look now, but the fire raging in she body, and the tempo have we wild and free. Tonight is the night for bacchanal. Give me room to play. Down behind behind she head and she whine. The woman whine, I said she whine until 4 day. I ain't living here till broad
I
daylight.
want to wine on something.
Trouble for the man I catch here tonight.
I want to wine on something.
The first man I catch tonight, well, he's dead.
I want to wine on something.
Especially if I have a stag in my head.
I want to wine on something.
Wind back,
Throw your waist.
wind back.
Throw your waist. Wind back. Throw your waist. I want to wine on something.
Oulé, famedou, oulé, oulé.
I want to wine on something.
Aïe. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. This is a party. There is a party. This is a party. There is a party. Oulé, 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 oulé. Say what? Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. This is a party. There is a party. This is a party. There is a party. This is a party. There is a party.
A professional to his heart, Swallow, with a lot of action on stage there at Spectacular and TNT, doing his I Want to Wine on Something. Well, that's all we have for you this week on CultureShare. Drop us a line, tell us what you think of the program. We'd love to hear from you. And if you'd like to have any information on the Calypso or Steel Band art form, you can drop me a line and I'll be quite happy to help you. The origin, the history of the two art forms and the people involved. You drop me a line. I may not have all the answers, but I can suggest and refer people that you can speak with or write to. Drop me a line and ask questions. We'll be quite happy to hear from you. And be good now and join us again same time next time around for another Culture Share. Till then, keep that smile on your face. Later.
Thank you.
old lady. I refuse to see anybody. But this woman want to harass me. Say she want to give me she money. Come and try me, rock me body, make it last a long, long time. Say you love me, make me happy, rock with me, I like your style. Yes, so every time I bounce up with she come and try me. She say come and make me happy, come and try me. I'm looking for somebody, come and try me. You're making me real crazy, come and try me. Though this woman looks so enticing, I still want to do my own thing. I would rather be safe than sorry. Should I take a chance with this lady? She say come and try me, rock me body, make it last a long, long time. Say you love me, make me happy, rock with me, I like your style. Yeah, so every time I bounce up with she come and try me. She say come and make me happy, come and try me. I'm looking for somebody, come and try me. You're making me real crazy, come and try me. Yes, this woman, she's still insisting, and I only keep resisting. She say come without hesitation.